What's up guys, Brian Grant here of ContestChampion.com. Today I just want to talk about the new reward system that Kabam has in place for Season 4 of Alliance Quest. Just a quick reminder, we are in the final week of Season 3 right now, so we will be seeing this reward structure very soon here. As soon as the next round of Alliance Quest starts, these are the rewards that we will be getting. Kabam's released a lot of information here, all the ranked and milestone rewards, and even what's going to be found in the Glory Store, and they've released this information in one of my favorite formats here, the spreadsheet. And I gotta say, well done. Like, they look nice. They look very nice. Very nice and clean here. At first, I wasn't thrilled with these new rewards. I wasn't thrilled with it. I was fine with the milestones. Basically, what's going on for the milestones is that they're removing some of the other rewards, some of the lower map crystals. There was, the occasional potion or revive or whatever. They're removing that stuff, and they're just putting in map crystals, kind of the higher end map crystals of what you're expected to be doing in each individual bracket here. So in the intermediate bracket, 3 and 4 map crystals, and in the expert, 5 and 6 crystals. And then they're also adding in glory, and I'll get onto the actual glory store in just a moment here. So yeah, that's what they're doing for the milestone rewards. When it comes to the ranked rewards, here's where I had some concerns at first, but my initial concerns, they don't really exist anymore. Let me explain, guys. So when I first saw this, I immediately just wanted to know how many alliances are getting tier 4 class catalysts. That's the first thing I looked at. I ignored literally everything else on there, just tunnel vision, tier 4 class catalyst. What do I need to get? How good does my alliance need to be? And I saw that it's the top 300. And I initially thought, like, oh man, I was kind of expecting, more alliances to be getting that kind of thing. Like, I don't know, it felt like maybe just a little bit too low on the total number of alliances getting tier 4 class catalyst. But then I quickly realized that, oh wait, this is 90% of a tier 4 class catalyst here. These 4 greater glory crystals each give 20%. And then the regular glory crystal gives 10%. So this is 90% of a tier 4 class catalyst, and that's going to be every single week. Not every other week. So if you're in this 300 to 450 bracket, you're going to be getting basically 1.8 tier 4 class catalyst every 2 weeks. The next one down, the 450 to 600, that's 70%. That's still really good. It's still really good. The next one down is 60%. Even this 801 to 1100 bracket or cutoff here is going to be 50% of a tier 4 class catalyst. So every 2 weeks, you're going to be forming a full tier 4 class catalyst. I mean, of course, you're going to get fragments from all over the place, so maybe not exactly that, but you're going to be getting the equivalent of 50% of a class catalyst every single week for falling in this range. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's equivalent of what currently is a bi-weekly tier 4 class catalyst alliance, which is what my alliance actually is. Now, technically, it's slightly less, because there's also some fragment crystals on the off weeks with the season 3, but for the most part, like, that's still really good. My alliance definitely had to place much higher than this 801 to 1100 range just to get the the bi-weekly tier 4 class catalyst. So for those of you who are concerned that this new system that Kabam has in place is just pushing for map 6 and, oh god, you're gonna have to do map 6 now, you're not going to, guys. You're not going to. Of course, it's there if you want to. It's there if you want to make moves. It's there if you really want to push that progression, but you don't have to. There are plenty of alliances that are going to be all over this, in a wide range here, that will be perfectly fine doing just map 5. And if you have decent prestige, maybe you'll be getting 70% or 90% of a tier 4 class catalyst every single week, right? So more than a bi-weekly tier 4 class catalyst alliance. So yeah, I think honestly, I think we're going to see even less of map 6 than in the current season. At the end of season 3 here, I think a lot of alliances were really starting to push for map 6, including my own alliance. Personally, I think my alliance, we're going to keep doing map 6, which I'm happy for because I really enjoyed doing map 6. And my alliance, we're full of kind of crazy people who want to really push that progression and maybe move our way up this bracket here so that we can get even more than a full class catalyst every week. But yeah, you definitely don't have to do that, right? You're also getting glory for this stuff. And let me talk about the glory store real quick here. So the glory store, oh, actually, you know what? Let me back up for a second. One of my concerns, though, about this system is that the top end of the spectrum they're not getting tier 2 alpha fragments, and I really think that's an issue. I think at this point in the game, the top at least 15, or even I would say even like the top 60, going by this, you know, like the top 50 or top 60 should get some kind of tier 2 alpha fragments. I don't think any of these people should be getting a full tier 2 alpha every week. I think that's kind of ridiculous, but definitely some alpha fragments, definitely some tier 2 alpha fragments. Of course, the higher you rank, the more fragments that you'd actually get, right? I think that would be a good way to keep driving the competition. Otherwise, a lot of these top alliances, I don't think they have much reason to really push themselves, to really compete with the other top alliances. I think they can kind of just sit back, collect these rewards, kind of lose interest in the game even, which of course is not good. It's kind of fine for my own alliance because we're still playing catch up with some of these other top alliances, so we're going to keep pushing our way up there. But still, I do think that these top alliances, they should at this point be getting tier 2 alpha fragments. So that is one of my concerns with the new season of Alliance Quest. For everybody else outside of like the top 50 or 60 or whatever, the system is totally fine. The system is actually like better than it was, right? But for those guys, I don't think they're getting enough. When it comes to the Glory Store, so the way the Glory Store works is each item has like a certain timer here. Most of the good stuff here is on an 8-day timer, which I'm hoping lines up exactly with Alliance Quest, so that it can help me keep track of when Alliance Quest is actually starting up again on the off days and stuff like that. And the way these items work is you can purchase them one time. Let's say you want a tier 4 basic catalyst for 1100, you can purchase it, and it's still in stock, but the price is going to go up to 1210 the next time that you want to purchase it. But after 8 days goes by, it's going to reduce back down to the 1100 price. And this 8-day timer, it doesn't start when you make this purchase. You know, you could purchase it when there's only 24 hours left, when there's only 1 day left. You can make this first purchase, and then a day later, the price is going to reset back down to 1100 again. And then after that, then you can purchase it, and then you'd have to wait another 8 days and so on, right? Here's where my second concern comes for this season of Alliance Quest. I think Kabam should just get rid of the Greater Glory Crystal. I don't think it adds anything to this Alliance Quest, and I think it actually has two negatives to it. First off, in the Glory Store itself, there's a regular Glory Crystal, which gives 10% of a tier 4 class catalyst, and the greater one, which gives 20%. The regular one costs 500 glory, and the greater one costs 3 times the amount for 1500 glory. Even if you purchase, the regular one 3 times and it ends up costing you 700 glory on the third purchase, that's still less than half of the amount of glory that it costs to get one of these greater glory crystals. On top of that, I think it actually confuses the ranked rewards here. In a system where, Kabam seems like they were trying to streamline the rewards here, make it nice and simple to understand, I feel like they kind of just messed up here right at the end of the list here, where they added in these greater glory crystals. I feel like they should have just made these regular glory crystals. So convert these 4 graders and 1 regular glory into just 9 regular glories, and then people would be able to much more easily understand, oh, okay, there's 9 glory crystals, I'm getting 90% of a full tier 4 class catalyst. Easy, right? I mean, like, the math is not difficult here. 4 times 20% is 80% plus the 10% here. We can do the math, but I feel like it would have been easier to understand. It's going to be easier to look at, easier on the eyes. People wouldn't have freaked out so much, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just unnecessary to have this greater glory crystal, and if they do want to have it, then the price here is just, it's very unusual to me. The only reason that I could even think of as to why this price is so high is that this is just the introduction to the Glory Store, and eventually, eventually we're going to get more glory than this, because there's very few alliances that are even going to, have enough glory to even make this purchase. Like, you'd have to save up your glory for a couple of weeks here just to be able to make some of these these later purchases in the system. So that's the only thing I could think of, but still, I would like, again, my 2 constructive criticisms for this season is do away with the Greater Glory Crystal. I don't think it's necessary at all, and then also I feel like the the top 50 to 60 alliances, they should have a little bit more of a carrot on a stick. however you want to do that for them. I think tier 2 alpha fragments is the way to go, but I feel like they need something to keep them pushing. Eventually I'm going to need that extra drive in order for me and my alliance to you know, keep progressing as well, and keep trying to compete with these top dogs here. So yeah, overall though, new season is going to be really good. When it comes to glory, personally, what I'm going to be doing is I'm only going to be buying these tier 4 basics. I'm not going to buy either of these glory crystals. I should have about 27 or 2800 glory every single week, so I'll be able to purchase 2 of these, and then there's going to be some weeks where I'm able to purchase a 3rd one. I think that's, you know, that's the best use of glory. And my alliance, we should be able to get a tier 4 class catalyst crystal every single week. On top of that, along with another basic here, so we're going to be rolling in the basics and class catalyst compared to what we had before. It's like a huge improvement actually over the last season, and I'm hoping that we could even, you know, get into this territory here, the top 150 or the top 100, or maybe eventually even the top 60, where we're going to get some of these glory crystals on top of the tier 4 class catalyst. So I am very hyped about this season, even with some of those negative things that I said. I do think that the new season here, the reward system that they have in place, is definitely an improvement over season 3. So looking very much so forward to it. And that's going to do it for this one, guys. I will see you in the next video. Take care.